Hi, this is Toby from LITH-TECH Mobility. So in today's video, we're going to touch on how to use a wheelchair for beginners. I got a phone call a couple of weeks ago and was requested if I did a video on this. So I'm going to try my best to keep things as simple as possible and just to give you some very simple tips. So out of the box, your wheelchair is basically going to look something like this. A few tips on folding and unfolding would be always use leverage and gravity to your advantage. There's two ways you can do this. First way is flip your foot plate up and back out the way first, then you don't have to bend down and push it back later. So if we want to tip the chair forward and do it from the side and part our hands, the easiest way to do it is you want to stand in front of the wheelchair but to the side. And the reason being is when I push this forward and then push my hands away, the chair then ends up bang in the middle of me. So it's the same as if I'm now going to fold this. I'm actually going to start with the chair behind me and I'm going to be to the side. The reason why we don't do it from behind, which is what I see lots of people, I must have cut myself in the last video. Well, I must have seen, also I see a lot of people trying to do in the demos before I sort of correct them, or even if I have said something, they still do it anyway, is they go from behind, they want to start pushing down, but as soon as you start pushing down from the back, what happens is you've already lost your balance. And obviously I'm able-bodied, but if you've got someone that's not able-bodied and they're trying to push them behind, their balance is already going to be a bit off kilter. So you want to make sure that they're always going to be as stable and as safe as possible. So always do stuff from the side. The only one time that changes, and I'll show you in a minute, is when we flick it out from the back. So it's a self, you can just come around this way, Kai. So it's a self-locking chair. So on the Smart Chair 1, 1XL, recliner, Smart Chair XL, they're all self-locking chairs. So what that means is when it locks down, you don't have any catches to do like or buckles like you would here. So what we need to do when we're folding this chair up is we put a bit of pressure on the back, and then all we're going to do is move the backrest forward by leaning, tilting on the backrest just a touch like that. And you literally just want to do it till it's no longer catching. You don't want to go any further down because then you have to start bending. What you're now going to do is we're going to grab the seat of the chair, we're going to bring it up towards us, and we're just going to bring our hands together. By me starting further back means that the chair then finished bang in the middle of me. So I'll do it again, fold and unfold. So I'm going to start here, I'm going to tilt the chair forward so gravity is actually opening up already, and I'm just going to give it a help on its way. The chair finishes up in the middle of me. Reverse process is, we're going to stand behind the chair and it's going to finish up, again, bang in the middle of me. So the only time it changes from doing it from the side is when we do it from the back. And this is perfect if you're a serviceman or you've got one arm or you have very little strength. You want to start, and the trick is start with your thighs touching, reverse grip, and what you're going to do is lean it forward and flick your wrist. Then you end up in the most stable position known to mankind. So anyone that's got MS, any sort of muscle wastage or bad balance, this is a great way of doing it because you literally end up in such a stable and comfortable position. So I'm going to show you that again. So we're going to do our clip, bring the chair back, hands together. Reverse process is thighs touching. We're just going to flick our hands out so we finish in this stable position. Okay, so now let's talk about free wheel mode. So at the back, you've got motors. If these motors, ignore these loose lead by the way, we've got so many customers that are either left or right-handed for demos, I just leave it loose so I can change it quickly. Right, so if your motor toggles are back, that means we're in locked out electric mode. So that means once this joystick is attached to the arm by this lead, that's how it would be used electrically. If we want to have it in free wheel mode, we then tap these toggles up, and we can do that with our hands or with our feet. If we're going to use our feet, we do it very gently. So it's a gentle tap, which means no bending down. Free wheel mode is now activated. Free wheel mode will only work if your joystick is either not attached or if it's attached but powered off. If you have any electrical current running through the chair, free wheel mode is not going to work. The advantages of free wheel mode are, and this is the advantage of having a chair with brushless motors. So in LITH-TECH, every single one of our chairs has brushless motors. That means there's very little resistance running through the motor in free wheel mode, meaning you can now use it like a walker or a stroller, walking behind. It also means that someone could push you in the chair if you've sat in it quite easily. It also means that when the chair is in its folded position and you're manoeuvring it around the place, you can wheel it around, You can even open a door by towing it from the foot plate, and it gives users options. The best thing about options when it comes to disabilities is obviously the more options you have, when life already is a little bit more taxing, the more options you have, the easier it is going to make you to do any task. So the more options you have is good. Right, so let's lock these off now, and I'm going to go sit in the chair, and I don't want this chair to move away from me or roll back when I go to sit in it, so I'm going to lock the motors out. That puts it into electric or stationary mode. I'm now going to attach my joystick. So when we're attaching our joystick, well, if we're a righty, we're going to put it in the right hand side. For a lefty, it would go in that side, and we would just remove the cap. So I'm going to pop it in. If you've got a longer reach, you'd have it further out, and you'd lock off this kind of locking pin, or you'd have it all the way in if you've got a shorter reach, and you'd then lock it out. I'm just going to grab my lead. I'll wrap it around here just to make it a little bit less long. Right, on this, you want to line up your 2 white arrows, push in, and you twist to make a secure connection. The reverse is twist and pull if you then need to take the joystick off. And to do that, you would just do the reverse again, twist and pull. So push and twist, or twist and pull, and guess what? Twist and pull. Right. Okay, so now my joystick is on. We now want to put our cushion on, depending on how tall you are, your shape, your size, whatever. We've got a load of different cushions and options. Ideally, for me, really, I would want to go for the upgraded cushion because I'm 5'10" and I don't have massively long legs, but for me, I just need to be set up that little bit higher so my legs are a bit more outstretched. I probably, if I wanted ultra comfort, would go for a telescopic foot plate as well, because what that means is where my feet, I've got big feet as well, so where my feet naturally hang off the end, by having a telescopic foot plate, my feet would be centre of the foot plate. So setting up a chair for your height, weight needs is quite important. So I'd be set up here in an ideal world, my feet would probably be out here, but for demo purposes it doesn't really matter. Okay, so we're going to talk about going forward and backwards. So what you want to do ideally to go forward is you want to wrap your hand around the side of the joystick, and here, if you create like that V with your hand, the joystick wants to cut through the middle of that V, and then you point that joystick with the V where you want to go. If you want to turn hard right, you put the joystick hard round to the right and you'll spin. If you want to go hard left, you put the joystick hard left. Now, if you want to reverse, here's a little trick. If you kept this position when you're going forward and then reverse back, what's happening is you're going to pull back at an angle. Do you see my hand is going off at an angle by keeping that position? That means that if I now start trying to reverse, I'm not going to go straight back, I'm going to go back and to the side. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to do what's called pincer grip. We're going to grab the chair like that, the joystick like that, and then by doing the pincer grip, it naturally brings your elbow in. That means when you pull back, you're pulling straight back. And the idea is, if you can pull this joystick back, bang in line with the middle of your armrest, you're going to go straight back. This is incredibly important when you're going in reverse up a curb, because what people struggle with is they're going along forward like that, and then they try and pull back like that, and instantly my elbow is pulling back this way, not straight back. To go straight back, you literally need to pull straight back, and my wheels then need to be, now I'm going straight back. So that's incredibly important. Obviously, when we're going up to do curbs, another trick is you want to start, let's say, I'll tell you what, I don't know how easily we can see that. Can you see that little line through the camera? Yeah. Okay, so let's pretend that's a curb. So what you don't want to be doing is just going up and bashing straight into this curb like this, because you'll go ba-dum, ba-dum, and you'll feel like you're almost getting tipped forward out of the chair. Instead, what you want to be doing is you want to creep forward, always do curbs square on, and you want to roll forward just until you've got about an inch or two like that. And then what's going to happen, if you just look up at me, Kai, is that's your inch, that's my wheel, this is my curb. And then by having that inch way, you've got enough momentum to get up there, but you're close enough that it's smooth. So your wheels dig in, especially if you've got the upgraded wheel, then they gently roll up over it and you barely feel a thing. I'm now going to do the same one here, pretending this is my curb again in reverse. So rather than starting really close like we do if we're going forward, we start further away. So This is important where we're just talking about grips. The first thing I need to do is get my pincer grip, pull it straight back. My front wheels need to spin. Once my wheels are spun, I stop. And now I use that pincer grip with little edges, little stop starts to get me straight. Once I'm about a foot or so away, I'm just going to slam it in reverse with my pincer grip. I'm going to go straight up over it. My back two wheels are going to hit over the same time. My front two wheels are going to follow. So that's really important. Right, some little tricks getting in and out of the chair. So, do you see where my wheels are like this? If I want to get out of the chair now, always roll yourself forward. If you roll yourself forward, those wheels are now tucked under the chair out of the way. So you always want to make sure your wheels are out of the way. Next thing you want to do, turn off your joystick. I now have a couple of options. I can use my feet to pick up the foot plate to get it up out the way. If I'm able-bodied enough, I can use my hand, I can use a walking stick, whatever. This is getting up out the front. I want to bring my bum as close to the front of the seat as possible, my heels as far back, my hands as close here, do not touch here. If you are someone that is prone to wanting to put your hand on the joystick, take it off before getting in and out, because the last thing you want to do is put your pressure on here. It will break and it won't be covered under warranty. So put your hands on the edge of here, heels back, bum forward, and elevate yourself by leaning forward to a stable position. Same applies for getting in. So what you want to do is you want to get your walker or whatever, square yourself up. Only once when your calves are resting against this bit here, do we then want to find the edge. So it's the complete opposite of what we did a minute ago. Find the edge of the armrest, and then we're going to lower ourselves into the chair. Once you're at this point anyway, you can literally go back in the chair without it going anywhere, because you know you found the centre of the chair. Then your foot plate's either going to come down like so, or however you get it down with your stick, and your feet are going to stay on it. One thing I would say is these chairs are incredibly strong. I'm 13 stone, and I can put all of my weight on these chairs without them moving anywhere. And this is the importance of buying a quality, strong, sturdy chair. Anything you could buy for 800 quid, a grand, even up to 1500 quid is never going to be sturdy enough. If you go to a carbon fibre chair and you are of significant weight, it's not going to be sturdy enough. You need a multi-train chair, you need to have, or a very capable lightweight chair, but you need to have some sort of weight going through the chair unless you're an incredibly light person. Okay, we're now going to talk about how we get in and out from the side. This is really important because if you just come around this side, Carl, I'm going to show you. This is a great way of levering yourself up if you don't have much strength. So to get these armrests up, it's this little clip here. So it's up for up, down for down. Right, put the clip up, we're going to bring it up. But this will go up and down all day long unless I lock it back. If I lock it back, that won't now come down. Do you see it locks out? So the reason why it locks out is now if we bring our chair, our legs, so you want to end up with your right foot to the right hand side of the wheel, your left foot to the left hand side. And now you can actually use this as a lever, like a crutch, to help pull you up and out of the chair. No faffing around with the foot plate, and you can cleanly walk away. Where this can just go up and down all day long, if you do lock it out for getting in and out so you can push your weight down in it, what you have to then do to get it down is you push from behind on the join. So you lock it out, you push from behind on the join. So this is incredibly useful if people have got weak legs, or if they want to be able to lower themselves and get as close to the chair as possible. So you come in from you can even come in this way, but it's much easier to come in from what I call a quarter or 3/4 angle. Find your armrest here first, then find here, and you can literally lower yourself into the chair. And it's just a quarter twist round, and from here you've got push on the join and bring the armrest down. Okay. So remember, when we go to fold the chair and put our chair in the car, joystick must come off. I still all the time see customers that leave their joystick on the chair. Also, the joystick then goes in its protective bag, which comes with the chair, and it goes in as a whole piece here. Zip locks up, fold your chair, and then we'll talk about lifting in a second, getting in and out of the car. I just want to touch on one more thing whilst we've got the joystick here. When this joystick is attached, I'm not going to do it up right now because there's no point, but you'll get the principle. This little bag that it comes in originally will live under here. The whole chair is kind of sealed and is water resistant, not waterproof fully, but water resistant. The only place susceptible to water is the joystick. Right here, you've got your buttons. Under here, you've got a circuit board, and in here, you've got your charging port. If you've got direct rain coming down on your joystick, it will corrupt it. So you need to cover it. Spitting rain or rain that's very light and moving around in strong winds is okay, because it's not that constant rain going down it. However, if it is that constant rain, what you need to do is cover this. These bags work perfectly for it, and then you can just operate your chair with that on. Don't try and do it like that, it'll just blow off. You want it like that, and then you just control it, and you can operate it easily. I mean, the idea is if it's peeing down with rain, it's not a good idea to be out in it. So this is to get you out of the rain's way, under cover, wait for the rain to stop, and then you can make your way home, whatever. If you do want to have something that you can go out in the rain, one, just be careful, because it's going to be more slippery. Your stopping time is going to be more dangerous, and yeah, it's not going to be amazing going out for your chair in the peeing down rain, if I'm honest. But you can get ponchos, which would be the best solution. That will go all over you, all over the chair's components, all over the joystick. I'd recommend that. You can get joystick covers where your hand goes in. They look a bit crappy and a bit clunky. Not a massive fan of them. I'd say a poncho is a much better idea, or just something like this, or a sandwich bag. Alright, I'm just going to fold this chair up again for you. Look at how to remove the batteries on this specific model. Obviously every model's different, but we do still get people, even now, even though it's in the user manual, we've done a million videos on this, about how to remove the batteries on a Smart Chair 1 XL. They just try and yank them out, and they call us up. We get it all the time. The batteries are stuck, they're not coming out, your chair's broken. I say, have you tried using the clip on it? And they go, oh no, I didn't know there's a clip. So I'm just going to reiterate on how to do that. So the easiest way to do it from a folded position, because that means the batteries are elevated. It means you don't have to bend. It's going to make your life easier. If we were going to take the batteries out in a non-folded position, we're all the way down here. We're trying to work out where the catch is. It's a bit harder. So let's make our lives easier. Bring the batteries up to a nicer level. Now we're going to move the foot plate up, back and out the way. And now we can actually see where this tab is. So if we're taking out the left-hand battery, we use our left hand around the face of the battery. Right thumb goes in that tab, and we're going to push it out. What I'm actually doing is I'm pushing that tab flush with my thumb whilst pulling on the face of that battery. When it goes in, you gently push it in until you get a click. And then if I'm going to do this battery, we're going to use our right hand around the right face of the battery, left thumb, make it flush, and we're just going to remove it. When it goes back in, boop, and there we go. On these specific models, you've got a few ways of charging, and this is the same for all of them. Way number one is you charge the batteries through the end of the joystick. So to do this, your joystick needs to be attached to the chair, so that bit needs to be connected. Joystick needs to be turned off. I had a customer yesterday actually call in, and they've been charging their batteries with the joystick turned on for a year. 2 years actually. So you want the joystick turned off. You want to put your charger into the end of here. That will charge both batteries together on the chair. And you can do this from a folded or an unfolded position. To be honest, if you do it from a folded position, let's pretend that this is a plug point. You stick your charger in there, and then you can actually literally see the charging portal. So you can literally put your charger directly in, which means it's going to make your life easy, because there's no bending down, there's no trying to work things out, and it takes up no room in your house. So that's how we charge the batteries on the chair together. If we want to charge the batteries off the chair, we can remove them and we can put the charger directly into their charger portal. And that's how we charge the batteries off the chair. If you do it off the chair, however, it's going to be one and then the other. So let's say we go out for our day out, we get back at 4 o'clock, we do the first battery from 4 till 8, and then when we go to bed, we do the other one overnight. You can overcharge them, but not really. So if you are going to leave it on from say 8 o'clock and you're not going to wake up till 8 o'clock the next day, 12-hour charge isn't going to do them any harm. If you left them on for 3 days straight, that's probably going to do them some harm. So don't worry about leaving them on overnight. The charger will kind of stop charging. The green light will show on the charger, but it will kind of stop emitting charge into the battery anyway. Okay, let's look at lifting the chair. So the safest way of lifting is, first of all, I'm going to remove the joystick. In fact, it doesn't really matter, but I'm going to remove the joystick actually just for this task. I'm going to move this lead out the way just so it doesn't get caught from where we leave them loose for the various righties and lefties that come in here. Okay, so we want to have the chair in. I'll tell you what we'll do. First of all, let's remove the battery. So 1, 2, and the reason I'm doing this is because each battery weighs bang on 1.5 kilos. By removing 1.5 kilos times 2, that's 3 kilos. That's quite a bit of weight to remove. And that's the difference between some females being able to lift this or an older individual to not. So after 20, most people can lift 20 kilos, but after 20 kilos, it does, every kilo makes a difference. Right, I'm now going to put it into free wheel mode. What I then want to do is I want to roll, this is my imaginary car boot by the way. So we're going to roll it to the car boot. We always lift from the side. So if I'm going to do a one-man lift, I put one hand under the middle here. I'm going to tilt the chair as low as I can, bend my legs, and I'm going to lift from the back. Bend my legs up like that, put my the wheels on the lift of the boot, and I'm going to roll it in. If we've got a saloon, it's going to go in like that. If we've got an SUV or an estate, it's going to go sideways normally. And if we've got a hatchback, they're going to go upright like that against the back of the back seats. We're going to lock off the motors to stop the bottom moving. And let's pretend they're our headrest. We're going to put a bungee from this headrest around the chair and under here to the other, and that's going to stop the top from moving. When we go to lift it down, we're going to drop it down, we're going to come to the side, we're going to roll, we're going to roll, we're going to roll, and we're going to cushion its fall down. If we're doing a two-man lift, I'd put my left hand here, my right hand here, the other person would put their right hand here from the opposite me, their left hand here, and you would literally just lift either half up between you. A two-man lift, and this is no word of a lie, is literally 5 times easier than a one-man lift. We have couples in their 80s that can even do two-man lifts. You know, it's great if you're going out with the girls and you're a lady, your wheelchair user, your girls can then take a side each and help you out and take the, put your wheelchair for you in and out the car really, really easily. Two-man lift is simple. So I've touched on as much as I can think of in regards to basics. I hope this helps people. We do get asked about the basics of using a wheelchair a lot, but I hope that gives you a rough idea, especially the grip for going forward. You want to have that grip or keep it low. On the joystick, remember, it is 3 times more sensitive to use the joystick at the top, like that, than it is around this dome. So either hold it like that or like that. Do not hold it like that, do not hold it like that. And when you're reversing, go from forward grip to pincer grip, and actually you can already see it, so forward grip, pincer grip, it brings my elbow in straight away. That means when I pull back, it's going to pull back straight. Make sure you pull back in line with your armrest and you'll go straight. It's going to help with curbs, it's going to help with moving in the shops, and it's going to make you feel more confident and, you know, not draw attention to yourself in shops. So yeah, best of luck, be safe, and I hope this helps you. I'm sure it will, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.